Well, hey, in the book of Revelation, the Apostle John tells us that we overcome the enemy of our souls by the blood of Jesus and by the word of our testimony. Our testimonies matter, our stories matter because they show us how God is at work in our lives. They show us how his resurrection power is moving and changing things. And this morning, I'm pleased to let you know that we've got a little testimony via video from Ned and Stephanie Steffens, who are some of our missionaries in Spain. And they went through quite an ordeal last year. Many of you are aware of that and you know their story. But their testimony is powerful. And as we listen to it today, I want to invite you to just receive encouragement in your heart of the power of the great God we serve. Check it out.
Ned and Stephanie, so you've been serving together in Spain for how long?
We've been married just over 8 years.
Okay.
I've been here about 18 years total. He's been here longer than that.
Where were you at when 2020 happened? What was your situation when the pandemic hit?
We had just arrived in the States in January, in Colorado. We needed to be there for our home assignment or our furlough. Our original plan was to be there for 6 months. And of course, in January, we didn't have any idea what God had in store for us.
I started getting a fairly high fever, and we thought maybe it was some other type of infection or something. I was up to 104 degrees, and pneumonia had started in my lungs. So that's when that whole process started. I was actually in Boulder Hospital a total of 34 days. The first about 15, I was intubated. I had a breathing machine, obviously sedated, so I don't remember any of that at all. When they removed that and I started to wake up, I was pretty, the wires weren't connecting completely, so kind of a little bit confused for a good amount of time. I needed a pretty extensive rehabilitation for three things mainly: swallowing, speaking, and walking. Those were all at zero. There was an attempt to get me to take me to a rehab facility, but I kept testing positive for COVID. And at that point in time, April of 2020, rehab facilities were not taking people testing positive. With COVID, no one can come see you. Yeah. So I would say it was about the last 2 weeks in the hospital, we were able to communicate with iPads. So that really helped a lot, but it was still very...
But we didn't see each other the whole time. I dropped him off at the ER and
March 30.
Had no idea that it would be 5 weeks later I would get to see him again.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
Yeah, face to face.
I think one thing that surprised me in my conversations with God, I never did ask why. It was easy to let my mind go to what could happen rather than thinking about what is. And when I stopped and recognized who God is and what is true about God and what is true about my relationship with him and our relationship with him, that grounded me a little bit more, I would say. But it was difficult to not let my mind go off. So I had to focus on truth, just stick to the truth.
God really very thankful for his intervention, great hospital staff, and for Stephanie, because she did a great job of communication through what's called Caring Bridge.
Yeah.
So that people could pray. I'm convinced those three things are the three main factors that helped me make it through all that. So they actually started the rehab at Boulder Hospital, and I was able to make enough progress to be able to go home on May 3rd, I think it was. I think I could have possibly been maybe one of their first, in a sense, success stories. So they were celebrating as much as I was.
He was our first success story, I think, and the nurses were so excited that he had recovered because we didn't know if he would, and it gave them a chance to celebrate. So it was special, hopefully for them, very special for us.
I've historically had issues with trying to control situations and different things, and I was completely out of control of this one. And I think too the power of prayer. I mean, just to see people, some people we don't even know who they are. They said, we're praying for you, we're so-and-so. But in response to what she had written. So it was a very big lesson on who's in control. God's in control.